The silence in the command chamber of the UNS Vengeance was thick, dangerous. Admiral Elena Rao stood at the center, her eyes locked onto the holographic replay. The peaceful world of Cyrillus IV engulfed in fire. Ash clouds, melting structures, panic screams. All of it transmitted before the feed was abruptly cut by orbital bombardment. The Galactic Council had just annihilated one of Earth's oldest allies. They didn't even issue a declaration, whispered Captain Umar Javed, his voice barely above a breath. They didn't need to, Rao answered, turning her gaze to the fleet display. They thought we would stay silent, that humans had grown soft. The Council had grown arrogant over centuries of peace. Earth had entered their galactic union as a junior species, fiercely independent but willing to cooperate. Over the decades, humans built alliances with races considered too small or too inconvenient by the Council. Races like the gentle Cyrillisians, who had offered Earth not weapons or tech, but trust. And now they were gone. Rao turned to her communications officer. Broadcast to the fleet. Operation Black Wake is in effect. The message rippled across 100 warships orbiting Earth, stealth dreadnoughts, adaptive cruisers, railgun platforms, and the infamous Nightshade-class frigates that specialized in electronic warfare. Every crew member knew what Black Wake meant. No diplomacy, no quarter, only retribution.in. The core systems, the Council's Grand Assembly gathered, buzzing with self-congratulations. Ambassador Threx of the Galthari species, one of Earth's few defenders in the chamber, stood furious and alone. You obliterated a peaceful world, Threx hissed, his scales rising. The humans will not let this go. Counselor Zarn of the dominant Varelian species gave a dismissive flutter of his wings. They are primitive. Their anger is emotion, not strategy. By the time they respond, the narrative will favor us. Narrative. That was the Council's way now. Spin the truth, rewrite the horror, bury the bones. But Earth didn't bury allies. Earth avenged them. 3 days later, the Earth fleet exited hyperspace above Caltris Prime, the capital of the Varelian homeworld. Civilians panicked. Defense systems scrambled. But it was too late. The UNS Vengeance decloaked first, its dark hull crackling with a strange, glowing energy neurophasic resonance cannons, a forbidden human innovation. Behind it came the fury of Karachi, New Kyoto's Fist, and the Mandela Protocol, each a name written in blood on previous battlefields. Admiral Rao gave no warning. Fire! The first volley melted the orbital defense ring in seconds. Council ships tried to flee, only to be torn from space by gravitic snares and kinetic missiles moving at relativistic speeds. Human AIs, classified as rogue intelligences by Council decree, hacked Council systems, turning their own weapons on each other. A Varelian flagship begged for parley. The fury of Karachi answered by tearing it in half with a tungsten lance. By the time the UNS Vengeance descended into low orbit, broadcasting a simple message. You erased our friends. Now we erase your lies. The Council's arrogance had collapsed into horror. Elsewhere in the galaxy, other species watched with wide eyes. The Dravarians, whose trade convoys had once been abandoned by Council patrols. The Myrax, whose homeworld had been quarantined due to economic inefficiency. The Valkan, who had hidden Earth diplomats in secret decades ago. They all remembered what it was like to be small, and what it felt like to be ignored. Now Earth's wrath gave them a voice. The Council tried to call an emergency assembly. Only half the seats responded. The other half, burning, hiding, or switching allegiances. On the bridge of the UNS Vengeance, Rao received a final transmission from the Council speaker himself. The hologram flickered, showing a trembling, winged being with smoke rising behind him. Humanity, we seek terms. Rao stared into the hologram. You should have sought justice, not dominance. There are no terms left to offer. She ended the transmission, then turned to her crew. Set course for the next Council seat. We're not done speaking.